Hi guys. So, um, I wanted to come and I want to do I want to talk about this video of the lady this whole Cheesecake Factory thing. I'm gonna say first of all, I've never even been to the Cheesecake Factory. I have heard of it, uh, and now I actually plan to go. Yeah, I don't know. I just never came up that I went to the Cheesecake Factory, but I don't see a problem with it. I actually looked at their menu and everything, and yeah, it looks nice. So, but that's me. Um, so I'm not gonna, y'all know I don't do like the whole drop in the video. Everybody's seen the video. I'm actually, I think a little late uh talking about the video because I actually really just seen it. I think yesterday. I think I just saw it. And um, I'm gonna tell y'all the first thing that I thought. First thing that I thought when I saw the whole video was I thought she reminded me of somebody, and I'm like, she acting like Sprinkle Sprinkle or Shira Seven, whichever one you wanna call her. I'm like, this looks because I have listened to her content. Um, I've actually listened to her content. Like I've been subscribed to her for probably a few years, but I don't, it's one of those accounts that I really don't, like I don't really go on, to really look and hear her advice. And like I say, I've been subscribed to her. I have listened to her, then I'll stop, and then maybe a while later I'll go back and kind of see what she's talking about or whatever. But her content never set well with me, for a few reasons. The first reason is this whole oh, what just happened to my screen? Hmm, that was weird. Um, but yeah, the first reason that her content really does not sit well with me is I find that it's scheming and manipulating. Um, I also find that, and I've like this is how I've always felt. I've also found that her content is, I mean, beside being shallow and all that, but I mean that's her, if that's how she wants to teach. But I always thought, even when I was listening to her at first, that what she's telling women is very dangerous. I say dangerous because you're playing with people's, not only their mind, you playing with people's money. And ultimately her message is get what you can, get what you can get. And if you don't like him or whatever, just go on about your business or whatever. Um, and to me that's dangerous. It was dangerous back then and even more so now, where especially black women are, a lot of times the target of very violent attacks and unalivings, complete unalivings. And so it just it just seems very, because men aren't stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what a lot of people or women might say or think. Men aren't stupid. You know what I'm saying? One thing about men that I do have to admire is that men are very, very observant. And one thing that I think men have studied way more than we women have studied is us. They have studied us. And although I don't agree with a lot of the narrative that men, especially today, talk about, uh, and the way that they talk about it, kind of the spin that they put on it, um, and so forth. I still think that they know us a little more than we know them. Like I just don't think it's been a thing for women to like study men and try to get a grasp on how men think. It's just, and men have been a lot more. That's kind of just something that they have always naturally done. Now, I don't say that to say, like I just said, that it's not that it's completely accurate. I think a lot of it is, you know, anyway, that's not the point of this video. So that's the first thing that I saw that I thought when I saw this video is she has been listening to Shira 7 and getting, her advice and her lessons from that. Now, I thought about it a little more. It was just kind of on my mind before I went to bed. I watched the video before I go to bed. You know how that goes. A lot of times you'll be thinking about it. Um, and so when I was thinking about this, and maybe y'all can tell me, like, I don't know, but maybe y'all can kind of tell me. It's like there seemed to have been another camera because I'm trying to figure out, like, so she had the camera in her face, and y'all forgive my hands because my nails need to be done so bad. Um, the camera was in her face. We saw her camera and seemed like she was talking to some other women and whatever, which is so extremely tacky for you to be on a date and live streaming where you going, where you finna. That is so tacky. But anyway, um, so I'm trying to figure out, well, if her and the guy are talking or whatever, and the camera is right here in her face, and she's talking to whoever on whoever she's talking to, where's the other camera? Because like it was capturing everything, and I'm like, they got a camera where the what do you call it? Where the not the review mirror, the side mirror is supposed to be or something like that. Because it's just like I don't understand. Like it didn't look. It looked made up to me. It really did. It looked very made up to me. And it just wasn't sitting right. And she was just over acting, if you will. Like she was just, look at me, like the cheesecake. It's embarrassing. I'm just like, lady, like, first of all, like I say, I never been to the Cheesecake Factory. And before yesterday, I really had not even looked at their menu. Um, but I'm saying to myself, like, lady, like, you, first of all, are acting like the dude taking you to McDonald's. Now, I'm saying all of this, even though this looked very skittish to me. Like it really did. Something about it just doesn't set right with me. This video. It just, it just doesn't set right with me. But anyway, let me continue. So that's the first thing I'm thinking. And then she was just like really overly pumping herself up. Now, she wasn't an ugly lady, I don't think. I don't think she was an ugly lady at all, but I don't think she looked like she thought she did. Um, I also, as I'm looking at her, I'm like, this ain't no young chick. Like, I don't even think she's in her 30s. Like, this looks like a 40 something and up woman and closer to the and up to me. Like, really. Like, I'm not trying to call her old or whatever, but she, in my opinion, was too old to be acting like that. And she did look to me to be a older woman. The guy actually looked younger than her. Now he looked like he could probably be in his 30s or whatever. But she just looked like an older woman to me, I don't know. Um so those few things, the overacting, that you don't take a beautiful woman to the Cheesecake Factory. Like, I mean, man, come on. Okay. I had made a video also. I made a video on dating. Um, and it's so ironic because I didn't put it up because I just didn't like the way it came out, so I didn't post it. But in that video, I gave a lot of what I would call some tips for dating. Tips that I think would help men out, tips that I think would help women out. I think this whole issue of going on a date and not wanting to spend money, or going on a date and feeling used or like you've spent too much money, or going on a date and things don't work out, and or the guy's expecting something afterwards, and I mean, all of these are scenarios that can happen, do happen, I'm pretty sure, but also, in my opinion, can be prevented. Now, the way that I have always prevented that is that I've never gone on a date except maybe one that I can think of. And that was only because the guy was just like so insistent. Um, but I don't go on a date without money. I really don't. When I go on a date, I have all my cards. I got my Lyft and my Uber on my phone ready. Like, I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? And so I've never, and I have always carried money. I don't know. Here's the thing that I used to think of when I was young. When I was young, like literally young, I have always felt like if I go on a date with some guy and I don't have no money and he pays for everything, that was going to put me in debt to him. That was just going to put me in debt to him for anything, for his money back, for some sex, for like just for whatever. And I don't know. No one even taught me that. I will tell a guy if he asks me to go on a date or whatever, I don't have no money or whatever. I will tell him straight up, like, let's wait until such and such, I'll get paid, or let's wait until whatever, and I have a little bit more money, whatever. And of course, they all would tell me, oh, well, don't worry about it, I got you, or whatever, but except, like I said, for that one particular time, I never went. I always would just wait until I have money. Um, Now, that particular instance, just real quick, because this video ain't about me, but that particular instance, this guy was just, like I said, he was just really insistent, and he was just like, "Don't worry about that. Like, I got you. Like, I'm the guy. I'm supposed to pay anyway. Don't even worry about that. Like, I got it. Just don't." And so I don't know. I guess I guess something convinced me to do it. I mean, he was a nice guy. And whatever, I went ahead and I did it. Had a good time. He paid for everything. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, he's the one that actually got a little upset because I ordered salad. And I think I made him feel slighted. Like, I really do. I think he felt kind of bad because, first of all, I wasn't all that willing to go because I didn't have any money and I wanted to. It's not that I want to pay for myself. That don't be it. It's that if anything comes up, any kind of discrepancy about payment or expectations or anything, I can pay for like I got money. Like, we can split it, this whatever. I got me. But like I say, thankfully I've never really had a guy that really took me up on it. So I'm thankful for that. I've always met really nice guys who, I haven't ran into any issues or anything like that. But getting back to this lady, um, like I say, it looked very fake to me. It looked like she had been listening to She Was Seven. Now, let me get into that part because when I made my video, I think I made that video like maybe last week or so, but I didn't post it like I said. Um, but it was giving alternatives to, like I say, having to spend a lot of money or feeling pressured or just any of that from the man or the woman. And some of the things that I suggested, I said, take a walking date, like go on a nice walk, take a park date, just go to the park or whatever. Even a picnic would be nice, even though I didn't say that last week. But even a picnic is nice and inexpensive. Like you can go almost anywhere and get, go to Walmart or something to their deli or whatever. You can get you some like some prepackaged things like that, or you can go even to Sam's Club. You can get a whole lot more. And you can have like a little party tray or however you want to do it and set it up. Have a picnic. Um, it don't seem like people even do that anymore. It's crazy to me. But there's coffee dates, even though, like I say, I don't like coffee dates. I don't do no coffee date, and they don't have anything to do with me feeling like I'm too good to have to go on a coffee date. That's not that. It's just the fact that I ain't gonna be drinking coffee all day long. Like I drink my coffee in the morning. That's it. I don't want to have it anymore. So if we go somewhere and I don't know, have a drink or something. That is even, but I don't know how well, honestly, that would work for me because, first of all, I'm not a big drinker, and drinking, especially on an empty stomach, makes my stomach burn. And so I probably would have to eat a little something. But a milkshake date, go get some milkshakes. Go on an ice cream date. Go get some ice cream. There's this thing called rolled ice cream. I think I had told y'all about that. uh, that I know that I'm late to because other people already knew about it. It was just absolutely fascinating to me when I found out about rolled ice cream. Like really, and I saw it on TikTok, and then I looked it up to see, like, man, do we have a place like that here? And we do. So anyway, that is a nice date. Like gym dates. You could go on a gym date, go to the gym or whatever. Like whatever it is that you would want to do to get to know a person. I really think we have gotten so far away from what a date is even supposed to be or mean. The date, first of all, is supposed to be fun. This is two people trying to see what they have in common, trying to see if they get along or if they want to see each other again. And somewhere along the line, dating has become about money and sex. Money on the woman's part, how much he can spend on me, and getting sex for the man. And that's so silly to me. I mean, on TV, you would see like a really rich man taking a woman out to a five-star restaurant or whatever and just spending money on her or whatever because that's his custom. That's what he does. Like he got the money to do that. So more than likely, that's probably where he just goes. Most of us don't have money like that. Like most of us are, especially now with the economy and the way things are, most of us are really just looking to go somewhere decent. You know what I'm saying? Just someplace decent and fun. You know what I'm saying? Get a little quick bite, whatever. Sit down, talk a little bit. Hopefully, have a few laughs or whatever, and see how the chemistry goes. And that's it. That's it. Like I don't get the expectation. If there is an expectation, I hear men say that there's an expectation. I don't date women, so I don't know. But if all these men keep saying it, it must be true. But I keep hearing this expectation of women wanting to just be going out for $500 dinners and $350 bottles of wine and all that. And it's just like that. I'm a woman and I feel like that's ridiculous. Like, why? Honestly, I wouldn't even want a guy, especially if he's not like a doctor or lawyer or something like that. And I'm on that type of level, which I am not. And I couldn't put enough of my cards in my purse to equal going to a five-star restaurant. I just don't have that kind of money. So it just it just really behooved me how these women expect that, if that is what they are expecting. Like that's crazy to me. Um I would not want I would not want that. To me, that's too much. Like it really and it's not too much because I don't feel like I deserve it or anything like that. It's too much for a first date to me. Now, I feel like, you know, something nice and casual or something like that would really be the best for me for a date. I'm simple, and I've always been really simple. Like I've never, yeah, like I'm just really really simple. But um I would feel very uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Now, if we were dating maybe two, three, four dates or whatever, and then he wants to do something like that, hey, I'm all in. You know what I'm saying? But on a first date to spend that kind of money, nah, nah, that's kind of that. I would be, me myself, I'd be leery. I really would. I'd be very leery of that. And like I say, it's not because I don't think I would deserve it. I don't think a first encounter deserves it. Like that's more me. It ain't that I don't deserve it. It's like, man, come on, this supposed to be casual. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to, I mean, going to a five-star restaurant, you got to think of what you're going to wear. You got to, I mean, you got to really put in some time and effort for that and look the part and everything. Um, Now, the other thing I wanted to bring about before I get off, because I don't want to make this video long. Um, the other thing is that um, what was my point? Yeah, it's too expensive. It is too it's just way too much on a first date. Um, and like I said, to me, it just puts way too much pressure, and it also is just way too much for a first date. Um, there was something else that I was going to say about the woman um in that video that, like I said, I don't know if that, I don't think that's a real video. I mean, I don't know, it could be, I don't think it's real. um it was just way too much overacting for me. It was really buying into also a real the stereotype of women, and especially black women, wanting too much, asking for too much or whatever. And if it was the case, it would have been, to me, she met a non-black man. He looked like he was Jewish to me, but a non-black man who she probably felt had some money or whatever. And her expectation would have been that that's where she was going, to a nice, big, fancy five-star restaurant or whatever. And when she wound up there, which the other thing is, I don't understand why you don't talk about where you want to go. Every date I've ever had, we've talked about where we're gonna go. Now sometimes I said, I don't know, it doesn't matter to me, whatever, but it was always discussed. I'm not gonna get to a restaurant, waste somebody's time and gas, and then I'm not gonna get out of the car. It's so childish. It was really, really childish. It was really silly. It was really, in my opinion, very overacted. Um, you know, but the guy seemed like a really nice guy. Like he really did. He was mannerable. I think he said something about she had been late a whole hour. I'm 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 gonna be honest with y'all as well. I wouldn't have stayed. I would. It ain't no way in hell you gonna make me stay and wait for you for an hour. Then you're gonna get in my car and act shitty and act like you're better than me and you deserve better than what I can. Man, come on. Yeah, yeah, no. And I'm just, I mean, y'all know how I am. talk a lot about women and uplifting women and things like that. But guys, I'm serious. If a woman is out there acting like that and just ungrateful, disrespectful, rude, I mean, the woman was just rude. She was really, it was silly, very, very silly, and very childish for somebody of her age to be acting like that. But if women out there doing that, I'm a woman and I wouldn't stand for that. I'm just saying. So, but anyway, like I say, I don't want to make the video too long. I think I kind of forgot a point. I had a point, but let me know what you think. This video didn't look real to me. It also looked like she has been getting lessons from Shira Seven or whatever. Sprinkle Sprinkle. She's been getting her lessons from her. That's what she was trying to act like that's the first thing that came to my mind when I was looking at her. That's what came to my mind. Um and like I said already in the beginning, that kind of behavior to me is very dangerous, to be trying to play people for their money and trick people out of to give you more. And because I've heard her give these tactics, and I've heard her give explanations of how to get money out of men and all. And I mean, if you got a job, why you got to do that? Like, I mean, I don't know. My mindset is different. I've always worked, and if I don't have enough money to do it myself, I either wait. That's usually what I do, is I either wait till I have it, or yeah, I just wait, because if I can't do it for myself, what do I look like expecting somebody else to do it for me? That's I don't know, but I don't think that's safe to be teaching women those kind of things. I think it's really, you become a very entitled, bratish, like that's not cute. And if anybody knows anything about Shira Seven and her history of, because that's how long I've been listening to her for a long time. So I've heard her talk about her husband. I've heard her talk about when they met, the day that they met, and everything. And to me, most of the stuff with Shira's husband and her marriage and relationship, this man wanted to do that stuff. This ain't, she didn't con him. She didn't like um try to what do you call it? Get more from him or whatever. I think in the initial meeting that they had, he did offer to pay, because I think she was on the way to work or school or something. I think work. And he offered to pay for her day of work and give her that money. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of her story. Um, but and that's one of the other things that always struck me as to why she teaches lessons the way that she teaches them, because she literally kind of teaches women, or she teaches women to pawn men. And that's not how she even got her husband. She met her husband in a bar, and they he saw her, obviously thought she was beautiful. She is a very beautiful woman. Um and he had the money. He was an older man. Her husband is older. He had the money to do and whatever. And I think this was just this man's choice. And so, like I say, for her to then start teaching women how to hustle men is like, I don't get that part. Like, I really don't. I don't get it. And that's, like I said, it's part of why maybe her content has never really resonated with me. I don't, yeah. But you guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit all notifications. Leave me a comment. Um, Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.